Hello everybody, Interinteri back again with another video, and today's video, guys, is going to be about this shutdown of the ATP Tour that we are going through this year. Which players will be affected most from this shutdown, from this break? I've thought about this, and because some players will definitely be really damaged about this one. Not that they will not recover, they will recover, of course, but I just feel that for some players, especially two players I'm thinking on my top of my head, is that this break just came in a very bad timing. They are not happy about this one. Not that anyone is happy about this break, let's face it. Am I happy? Of course not. I truly love tennis. I miss tennis badly. My life is work, home, work, home, work, home, work, home, and taking my kids to the soccer practice. I'm bus driver the half part of my life. Then I'm where I get paid, of course. Then I'm a taxi driver the second part of my life, where I don't get paid. Taxi driver to my kids, taking them to their soccer trainings and their soccer matches. My two older kids. And on the weekends I look forward to see tennis matches, and during the week as well, but especially on the weekends when I'm free from work and I can see the semifinals and I can see the finals. So this break is not good for anyone, but it is what it is. I have already gave my opinion about all this. I'm not gonna go into it in this video, but so this break is not good for anyone, not for the players, not for the fans, not for the organizers, not for anyone, not for the society in the entire world, because many companies are just walking on their knees. Many small companies are walking on their knees. And I got a question from a subscriber. He asked me, have you been affected in your work? I've not been affected. No, I'm not been affected on my work, not at least yet, because I'm a bus driver. The buses must roll on. If the buses stops, the entire society will shut down. So I'm not being affected, not at my work. I've been little affected. I've been, but that is not a big deal. The effect that I have had is that I cannot work overtime anymore. I cannot work overtime because I usually work a lot. I will work overtimes as well. If I work 5 days a week, when things are normal, which things are not normal at the moment, I work 6 days in the week. Now I cannot work 6 days in the week anymore because of this situation that we have, like we all know. But on general, I have not been affected. I have not been affected because, like I said, the buses must go on. People must they must have the buses. So if the buses stops, the Swedish society will stop as well. So I have not been affected, not much, not yet, on my job, for the subscriber who asked that question. Anyway, when it comes to the ATP players, who of these ATP players I personally feel this break, this suspension of the tennis tour has affected most of those players. And those players, my friends, it is two players I'm thinking about. It is, of course, it is without any question of a doubt, Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. It is these two players that this break will harm most. And I'm gonna tell you why. if you look at the young players like Tsitsipas, Shapovalov, Felix Aliassime, Daniel Medvedev, Dominic Thiem, if not that Dominic Thiem is young, he's not crazy young, he's not in early stages of 20 years old, but he's not 30 years old or over like Djokovic and Nadal. And other young players, Zverev and someone that I've forgot, Berrettini, or all the young players that are on their beginning of their 20 years old or middle of their 20 years old, they are not affected like Rafa Nadal and Djokovic. And I'll take a player like Federer, who is 38 years old and who is on his end of the road of his career. He's not crazy affected as well. He would not even play tennis. He took a surgery a couple of weeks ago, so this break is not affecting Federer at all. And even if Federer was not hurt, and even if Federer didn't take that surgery on his knee, this break would not harm him very, very much. And I'm gonna tell you why, guys. The young players, they have time on their side. Only God knows how long this break will be. Nobody knows for sure. It can take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, God forbidden. I hope it doesn't take 1 year, but we don't know how long this break will be. In any case, the young players, they have time on their side because they are not over 30 years old. Federer, he is pretty much done. He will not win any more majors. You know, I have said this a lot of times on my videos, and I'm not gonna change my mind. Federer's last shot was last year Wimbledon. He didn't take it. Adios for Federer or winning majors. He will not win any more majors. He will be 39 years old in summer. No. Federer is bye-bye, amigos. But Djokovic and Nadal, they have not won their last majors. They are still on the top of their games. Djokovic world number 1, Rafa Nadal world number 2. Djokovic, for God's sakes, you have not lost one single tennis match so far this year, 2020. Rafa, he has been looking good as well. Not as good as Djokovic, of course, but he has not looked bad. He won his first title in Mexico, Acapulco. He was in quarterfinals in Australian Open, even though that, for Rafa's standpoint of view, it is not maybe crazy good, but it is solid performance. He lost to the finalist Dominic Thiem. No shame to losing to Dominic Thiem in a slam match in a quarterfinal. Who went through to the final and took Djokovic to a 5-set battle there. So Rafa and Djokovic, they won 2 slams each last year, so they were sharing the slams last year, 2019. So of course this break harms of all the players in the world. It harms most, it damages most these two, because they don't know when they will play Wimbledon. They don't know when they will play French Open. Even though they have said that French Open will be played on 20th of September, we cannot know for sure. Nobody knows. Me personally, if I should say my take, I don't think for certain to say, for example, a Grand Slam tournament, the biggest tennis tournament of all times, the biggest tournament in the world, in my opinion, it is Wimbledon. Wimbledon, it is classic, it is the oldest tournament. It is the tournament that all the players, when they are young, when they are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, they dream to win it. If you ask players like Djokovic, Nadal and Federer, especially Djokovic and Federer, if you ask them what was your dream when you was a young kid to win, they will say Wimbledon. Rafa, I'm not so sure about that, because Rafa he's Spaniard. He's grown up on clay, so most probably Rafa's dream was to win French Open more than Wimbledon. But Rafa's dream was also to win Wimbledon just after French Open, for sure, just after French Open immediately. So Wimbledon is the biggest tournament in the world, tennis tournament. Even guys, even players, I mean, even human beings who don't know much about tennis, they have heard about Wimbledon. I can guarantee you that, guys, to you. I don't think Wimbledon will start on time as well. I don't think so. They have not announced anything yet, but they will for sure. They will probably do. For God's sakes, they have moved on all the events, more or less. They moved the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games will not be played this year. Olympic Games will play next year. And many other events, not only in tennis, outside tennis as well, show business and everything like that. We don't know even if we will see the three left majors this year: French Open, Wimbledon, US Open. We don't know if we will see them in 2020. We don't know for sure. And if we don't see them this year, it will be even more devastating for Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic, because they will be 1 year older next year if they will not play, say, Wimbledon, French Open and US Open. But I have a feeling, because they are too big of a tournaments, I have a feeling that these three tournaments, they will be played this year. I have a feeling. They will not be played maybe on time. French Open will for sure not be played on time, because they are already announced that they will move on that tournament to later this year. But I think they will be played, all three, Wimbledon, French Open and US Open, but not on time, all three. French Open not on time already. I don't think Wimbledon will be played on time. I'm not quite sure about Wimbledon. I'm not quite sure. I'm not convinced yet that Wimbledon will be played on time. I'm not convinced yet. In any case, anyhow, this break is affecting Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic most, because we don't know how they will react on this when the ATP Tour will get started later on this year. We don't know how Rafa will look at French Open in September. Rafa doesn't usually look superior the second part of the season. Usually he doesn't look superior. Sometimes he has looked superior in US Open, but mostly times he doesn't look superior. Now this is French. Now this is clay. His backyard. He's the clay court king, the clay court goat. So he will look good in French Open even in September. But we are not certain that he will look superior. At least I am not. So this break, and we don't know how Djokovic will look later on the season as well. We all know that Djokovic, he doesn't look deadly superior as well on the second part of the season as well. For instance, Djokovic has won the US Open only 3 times. Rafa has won the US Open more than Djokovic. Rafa has won it 4 times. So, and Djokovic has been in, I believe, in 8 US Open finals and lost 5 US Open finals and won only 3. So we don't know how Djokovic will look in French Open in September. I believe personally that Djokovic would have looked much better in French Open if the event was played on May, like it usually always have done. So I don't think this break is not good for Djokovic. It's not good for Nadal. It is not good for anyone. But like I said, the young players, they have time on their side. Federer is done winning majors. Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic will be most affected of this break. Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic will get most harm from this break, and this is a disaster news for Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic. That is my opinion, guys, about this. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.